What is going on, lads? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Now today what we're going to be doing is reviewing the SECAINE head unit, which I fitted a few videos back to the car. In case you didn't know or you didn't see that video, I have got the Android unit fitted in the car. So we're going to go over a review on that today and let you know whether you should buy one for yourself. If you go ahead and enjoy this video, make sure to drop it a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We're on the road to 2k subs, so definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now today's video, I've broken it down into 5 categories to hopefully make it nice and easy, so you boys can decide whether it's something you want to purchase for yourselves. So we're going to go over price, performance, ease of use, product support and the reviews, and finally should you buy one yourself. So what I'll do is I'll set up the camera so you can see the screen, so I can talk over the various things whilst you're looking at the screen, and yeah, we'll just bang it out and see what you boys think. So the first thing you should consider before purchasing the Android head unit is the price of the unit. Now I paid, I think, let me just bring it up. As you can see there, I paid £122 for this exact unit. But the postage was £30 on top of that. Now it is listed on eBay for £130, but I wasn't particularly happy with the high shipping costs, so I tried to negotiate down a bit and I got £8 off. I suppose it's better than nothing, but yeah, £122 plus 30, £152 in total. Now since purchasing it for that, I have seen it cheaper elsewhere. I've seen on the Focus Facebook page people have purchased similar units off Wish and Amazon, so definitely check out your options before committing to eBay. Just because I bought it off eBay doesn't mean that you necessarily have to as well, but if you want to do that, then I'll put the link in the description below so you can buy it yourselves. So yeah, 150 quid, not too bad at all. The other options I was considering was maybe like a Pioneer head unit, but obviously that would only be smaller and you'd have to have a fascia converter on there as well, so it wouldn't look as good. What really appealed to me with this is the way that it looks, the aesthetics side of things, and the fact that it came with the surround so that it fits directly into the car, and it looks like it's meant to be there from factory, was what really drew me to this particular one. So yeah, 150 quid, if you can afford it, definitely consider it as an option. If that is right at the top end of your budget, then maybe consider a double DIN head unit with a fascia. It's an option. So yeah, consider all your options. Price wise, I think it's pretty cheap for what you get, so definitely a thumbs up on that side of things. The next category is performance. Now the performance of the head unit is okay. I think it's got 1 gig of RAM, so it's not a lot at all, and that is basically the amount that it can process at once. So in terms of screen navigation, the screen is really snappy. You can see that it's not really taking a lot at all. One worry I had when I was purchasing a cheap unit was, if you've ever felt a really cheap tablet, an Android tablet, the screen feels really naff and it's horrible to use. But this actually feels like my phone, and I've got a Google Pixel 3, which is it was quite a decent phone at the time. So yeah, it will feel exactly like your smartphone, which in most cases is good, unless you've got like some Nokia for 60 quid or something. So yeah, the performance on the general use is great. When you go a bit deeper into things, if you go into maps for example, it takes a second to load, and to begin with it's a little bit laggy. Once you load it up, it's not too bad, but as you can see now, it's sort of a bit more responsive. But when I loaded it up first, then it was a bit laggy. So it's okay. I haven't used it with all sorts of different apps open yet, because I tend to just stick to Spotify, Bluetooth and SatNav. So for what I use it for, it's great. I did have a chap comment in the previous video of me installing it, saying that he had issues on his Spotify when he was sort of trying to play music. It wouldn't actually play the ads because it didn't have the RAM capability and it was lagging. So it was actually skipping the ads for him, which I guess is kind of a benefit, but it's not working correctly because it is supposed to play the ads. But yeah, it's kind of a strange situation, but for what I use it for, it's great. So my personal use, the performance is also thumbs up, but if you're looking to use it, say for Netflix or YouTube, then you might start to struggle a little bit. I did use YouTube on it when I first downloaded it, and it was fine. It was fine. It was, you know, loading up videos fine. So yeah, maybe Netflix it might struggle a little bit more, but for the general use that I've used it for, it seems all good. The next category is ease of use. Now, I threw this category in the mix because being a Chinese head unit, I don't know what it's going to be like again with the screen, how responsive it is. It kind of comes into it. When I first downloaded it, it was all in, or most of it was in Chinese, and I could only use the Chinese keyboard. I think in the end I downloaded a Google keyboard. I can't remember. It's been a little while, but you have to go into the settings and change it, because otherwise you're trying to type in Chinese and you're trying to sign into your Google account, and that's just not really working. But overall, it's really easy to use. If you've got an iPhone or Android phone, then yeah, it's really easy to use. Bluetooth's easy to connect up as well. Just as easy as connecting a phone to a Bluetooth speaker, or if you've ever connected a phone to a car before, it is literally a 2-minute job, if that. So no problems there. Again, really easy to use. Massive thumbs up. The next category I wanted to talk about was product support and what sort of different support that you have with the head unit. Now, it does come with a warranty. I can't remember how long it is off the top of my head. It's probably not worth the paper that it's written on, so I kind of just didn't even take that into account when purchasing the head unit. But one thing I wanted to make sure was that the seller on eBay, which is the SECAINE team, is responsive. So if I have any issues, I can get in touch with them. And what I did was I messaged them before purchasing it with just some questions about the head unit, just to see whether they would respond, how quickly they would respond. And they came back to me within a day, which I was pretty happy with. So in the end, I did purchase it. As you know, you're watching this video now, and I fitted it. After fitting it and using it, I did run into one small problem. When I have my lights on, the screen automatically dims, as you can see there, and occasionally it flickers. It flickers back to full brightness, and I didn't know what was going on. So I dropped them a message and I said, look, it flickers back to full brightness when it's dimmed. Have you got any ideas? They did come back to me. They did come back to me and said that they'd be in touch. They haven't come back to me as of yet with what a solution for that is, but it hasn't happened too much. It's not like a massive thing for me. I would like to know what they have to say about it. As you can see, they said, okay, for the problem of this brightness, we have feedback to our engineer. We'll reply to you ASAP, please wait. And that was on the 14th of, no, that can't be the 14th of May. That was a few weeks ago anyway. I bought it on the 13th of April, so it was probably a couple of weeks ago, and they haven't come back to me yet. Now, I don't know if that's because of coronavirus, so I'm giving them a little bit of slack there. I will chase it up at some point. I haven't yet, if I'm honest, so we'll see how we get on with that anyway. But yeah, at least they came back to me and they said they're going to check it out. Whether they have done or not, that's another thing. But yeah, their English isn't great. I guess they're Chinese or something, so that's one thing to consider. So when I was trying to explain it to them, she had a little bit, or he had a little bit of trouble understanding me and thought it was something else. So I just had to send him a message again and just explain it in a bit better detail. So yeah, I've let them know. It's something I can keep you boys updated with. That's the only problem I've had with it. But yeah, in terms of the actual support side of things, they've come back to me, they've responded. I'm just waiting on a solution to my issue. It's not a big issue anyway. Even if there is no fix for it, I'm kind of happy with it anyway. So yeah, just consider that in mind. I thought that was something worth throwing in for you boys, just so you know you can get in touch with them. And the last category that I wanted to share with you guys before making a purchase yourselves was the reviews of SECAINE as a brand rather than this particular one, because I couldn't find too many reviews of this particular head unit. So I looked at them as a brand rather than this product. Now, the reviews that I found were pretty dreadful, if I'm honest. Like, if we take this site here, this is literally, I've literally just typed in SECAINE reviews in Google, and It's a 1 star out of 10. The first one is, if I could put a 0-star rating, I would. So they are pretty shocking. Just don't is another one. Ordered a radio that doesn't work. Chinese company robbers, someone's put here. So the reviews are actually dreadful, and usually this would throw me off buying anything. People's experiences is usually the best tell as to whether product is good. Now, there are the odd few decent ones actually. There are a few that are like 4 stars out of 5, 5 stars out of 5. But the majority are 1 stars saying do not buy, they're scammers and all this other stuff. So that was definitely a massive concern for me when buying this unit. Now, luckily I have you guys to speak to. I spoke to a chap on Instagram. He actually recommended me a Android unit, and I was taking his word for it really. So I went with what he said, what he told me about it, and yeah, purchased it for you boys to see. And I've seen a lot of people on the Focus Facebook page as well starting to do this now. So I think overall they're pretty decent here. I don't know whether these are in the United States. A lot of them are they're talking about dollars. So I think they just have a lot of issues in the States. Maybe not so much in the UK, I don't know. But the reviews are absolutely shocking. So definitely consider that when you're purchasing it. Now, for the all-important question is, should you go ahead and buy a SECAINE head unit even after all the terrible reviews that they've got on Google? Now, I did, and I would recommend you boys to buy one as well. I'm not going to shame them for the reviews that they've got. I looked past the reviews and I've got one myself, and I haven't really had any problems with it other than the flickering brightness every now and then. Yeah, it's far better than the one that comes in the car, and that's the way I look at it. So as long as it does more and it does it better than the one I had previously, I'm really happy with it, if I'm honest. It looks great as well, like it looks like it's supposed to be there. You've got an equalizer in here as well, so you can actually play with your music and make it sound a bit better. If we just open it up, I don't know if you've got, yeah, there we go. So I've got it set on popular, which just fiddles with the frequencies and makes the sound a bit better than the standard sound. So overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but definitely check out all your options before purchasing this one. Like I said, you might find it cheaper elsewhere. Yeah, consider all your options, read the comments. A lot of people talk about their issues and questions below, so check the comments out. And if you've got any questions, drop them below. I'll be sure to respond to those. But yeah, thank you boys for watching to this point. If you have, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you aren't new. And like I said, just drop any comments below. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to respond to those for you. But thank you very much for watching this to this point if you have, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.